Athlon Sports. I don't even know who they owned by. I couldn't even tell you the last time Athlon Sports came up for me.
I mean, based on this article that we're about to reference and reading it, they might be owned by ChatGPT.
It's crazy. They have ranked their Big 12 teams. They're a magazine. That's okay, which doesn't happen. People don't do magazines anymore. They have Kansas State at number 1 in the Big 12 going into next season. Quarterback Avery Johnson. And as we all know, the offense whisperer Matt Wells.
Sure, yeah.
We
knew when he made that move. We were like, watch out for Kansas State. Yeah.
You and I hosted a radio show together when Spavital was hired as Baylor's offensive coordinator, and the initial rumors were Matt Wells, and we were pulling our hair out, being like, no, if anyone's learned anything, you don't have to hire Matt Wells.
Really, it's not. Some people think it's like this requirement. It's really not.
They have Kansas State at 1, Arizona State 2, Texas Tech 3. I don't think I have Kansas State in my top 2. I think Kansas State will be good. I like Avery Johnson. He's not the Heisman Trophy winner that we were promised yet. Could he be? Sure. Not yet. Iowa State at 4. They lost a lot, by the way. The Baylor Bears at 5, which I think, by the way,
yes, it does. It does. And I will defend their honor in a second. But I think the thing that kind of stood out to me in this top 5 in the list was like, I also think I'm probably right with you. I think Kansas State's going to be good. I don't have them as 1 or 2 in this conference. And even with what Iowa State lost at wide receiver, I still have not found something where I'm like, yeah, Kansas State's definitely better than Iowa State.
Good. That's a great point.
Like that's just where I kind of come back to. And I often don't bring up Iowa State because I do the Baylor show, and I think Baylor is a legitimate chance to win the Big 12. Tech brings in all this talent. Arizona State's the defending champs, and we kind of lose Iowa State in that shuffle. Utah, by some people in Vegas, they think they're going to win the whole thing. But I just keep coming back to, I don't think Kansas State's better than Iowa State. I don't think Kansas State or Iowa State is better than Baylor.
They get lumped together pretty much every year. It's always just, all right, Kansas State, Iowa State. They are.
We don't know much about them, but they're typically good under this coach. Yeah,
Corbett wants you to find the difference in these 2 pictures, and they're the same picture. This is the same.
Dublin, Ireland will have no idea the difference.
It's not a bad thing. This is not a bad thing.
They're both good. Yeah,
they're both very, very good with coaches who are going to be there for the rest of their lives, and they have compliment to you. Both of those programs, they have a bunch of 3-star players who become really good at college football and can go toe to toe with anyone in the country. And that's on development. Development's great. Mentioned Baylor at 5, Dave Aranda and the Bears, BYU at 6. Here's what I do think. AI probably made this list. They say, after all, they have returning starting quarterback Jake Retzlaff. Right, guys? Right? It says BYU. The problem is, besides quarterback, the Cougars are going to need to deal with massive roster turnover at other positions.
That's the problem. That's the real problem facing BYU right now, outside of quarterback.
If I was AI, if someone said, hey, Drake, I need you to tell me what the Maryland football season is going to look like in 2025. Like, massive roster turnover in certain positions is just a really good slap it on there.
Got to win their home games.
Yep. They've got the who was the kid they had? Who was their quarterback they had? He had a last name.
Yeah, Tua's brother, Tagovailoa.
Tua's brother.
Not Uyunglele. Yeah.
And maybe he's back, maybe he's not. I don't know. Maryland.
I don't think so.
Maryland's like the Colorado, like the 15 years of Colorado we saw where it was like, I forgot about them. That's just what Maryland football is. And forgive me, they have a couple years they win 9 games.
Right. Yeah.
You just would never know.
Playing bowl games on December 20th.
They're like perennial bowl team, probably. Yeah, I usually expect to watch them in the postseason.
That's a bad look for the Big Ten, by the way, because they're never in the Big Ten discussion, but they're always in a bowl game for the most part.
They're really good at being 6-6.
Athlon, they're not quite Iowa.
Athlon doesn't like BYU. They do like Utah, which is a weird thing to say because they have Utah behind them. Utah at 7. New offensive coordinator Jason Beck is going to be the reason why with Devin Dampier. And if any of us have learned anything, when you bring in a mid-major quarterback who is a star at his previous school and you give him a big fat NIL deal, it usually works out, right? DeQuan Finn was just a star this last year.
Can I just give a warning about this to the Utah fans? Like, DeQuan Finn was better than Devin Dampier was before making this jump. Devin Dampier's younger, might have some more room to grow. Okay. Don't shoot the messenger here, but DeQuan Finn was better. And you're going to use these moments of like, oh, Devin Dampier played really well against, this Power 4 team. DeQuan Finn played pretty well against Notre Dame and Ohio State. And you guys, you Utah fans, saw this up close and personal last year, what that looks like in the Big 12, what DeQuan Finn looks like in the Big 12. I'm just saying. I'm just warning you.
Utah and UCLA will kick off August 30th at 11 p.m. 11 p.m. Eastern. Thank you very much. College football is so back. We're 9 Saturdays away. 8, the Kansas Jayhawks. 9, TCU. Not music to your ears, but I think TCU is a sneaky top 5 team in the Big 12 this year.
I think TCU is much better than 9. Yeah. I don't like how much I've kind of been talking, because I don't think TCU is a great team. I think they still have a lot of holes. But I do like Josh Hoover. I mean, the guy had no running game last year, and he threw for almost 4,000 yards. Like 0 running game, and not a terrific defense either.
Savion Williams is good, by the way.
He is good. So I don't know. They have obviously the middle of this conference is a crapshoot, but like to me, what I've looked at from these teams from last year and where they are on paper this year, I think TCU is better than Kansas. I think they're better than Utah. And if it really goes off the rails for BYU, which we've said it probably won't, but if it really goes off the rails for BYU, I think they're better than them too.
I like Josh Hoover. Shout out to his sister who worked in Waco for a while as well.
Fox 44 alum.
Colorado at 10. That's the one I'm like, yeah, okay. Houston at 11. They could be a 6-6 school this year. I like Willie Fritz. I think
they're better. I think they're better than Colorado.
I think Houston's kind of on that Matt Rule Baylor trend of by year 3, you're going to think, oh, wow, they put it together. This is Houston's good.
If Connor Wegman is kind of like half the hype that they gave him at A&M, that's a much improved Houston team. Like that defense was pretty legit. They just had absolutely nobody at quarterback. Zion, all due respect to Zion Chris, of course, diced up TCU, but that was a really pretty good defense, almost elite defense that just had nothing offensively. So if Connor Wegman's a decent quarterback in this conference, yeah, they should be better than Colorado. And I could see them as a 6-6, 7-5 team, which is a hell of an improvement.
Law of averages. Somebody has to go 7-5. Don't be upset.
True.
Cincinnati at 12. That's too high for me. Oklahoma State at 13. This is like the fire the coach territory.
Yeah.
This is we can't keep going with Gundy. We can't keep going with Satterfield, who probably should have already been fired. West Virginia at 14. I see them sneaking into that 10 or 11 spot. Honestly, don't know why. But
me neither.
Just something about the colors, something about the brand. Arizona 15, UCF 16. And I hate this. I personally, while he was the coach, liked Gus Malzahn. UCF had some good. They had the kid with the leg. He was a really good kicker. They had KJ Jefferson. They were sneaky 9-3 for me last year. I thought they would beat Utah, finish 9-3. Then they really sucked. And I hate this. I've been to a game there. I watched them blow like a 28-point lead in the fourth quarter to Baylor to save Dave Aranda's job. Would have been 2-10. I think they might go 2-10, 1-11.
Which we did bring this up last week. That could mean UCF to the national championship game, which would be their second national championship appearance, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
They're pretty bad though. They're really bad.
Jacksonville State, NC-A&T. I have confidence there. After that, ooh. Sorry. It's just, but Scott Frost, it'll happen. Give it time. Patience for the Tide.
That's the thing with West Virginia about UCF real quick. They both brought old coaches back. Both those programs will give them some grace. I mean, obviously not after, they're not going to fire them after 1 year, no matter what, but like they are going to give these guys some time to build it up, which I think is going to be fascinating to watch in 2 or 3 years, just not this year. They both suck.
Recruiting in the Big 12 is really good. Locked on Big 12, locked on Baylor.